Back in the early 90s, Nintendo actually thought it was a great idea to let a bunch of talentless jackasses just like me make games starring their valuable franchise characters like Mario and Zelda.
So you're not talking about...
Oh, yes I am. The Philips CDI.
Hell no.
Hell yes. People like that show where we talk about the bad Wii games so much that now we're going to play some terrible CDI games. In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about Nintendo and Philips and Sony and all the various business arrangements that they got into back in the early 1990s with the dawn of CD-based video gaming. Now, originally, Nintendo and Sony were going to team up to produce a machine they were going to call the Nintendo PlayStation. But when that partnership got dissolved, Nintendo decided to partner with American electronics company Philips. And Nintendo let Philips use some of its properties like Mario and Zelda when they made their video game system, the CDI. Thank you, Professor Kohler, for that informative history lesson. Now let's actually play some CDI games. I've got here Hotel Mario, which should be interesting. Baker, what have you got over there?
Yeah, I'm not talking to you right now.
Okay. Looks like Baker's holding on to some Zelda games. Link, The Faces of Evil, and Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon. I guess their thought process in this was, why make just one bad Zelda game? Why not make two? So to illustrate the raw power of the CD-ROM medium, every one of these games begins with a high-tech animated opening.
It's like Link, Zelda, and a crazy homeless person right there in your living room.
Ganon and his minions have seized the island of Koridai.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Yeah, it sure is boring here in MS Paintland.
Man, screw Wind Waker. This cell shading is the real deal.
It is written.
It is written here that fish, tree, scribble, ampersand.
Squadala, we are off.
Wow, what are all those heads?
These are the faces of evil. You must conquer each.
I guess I'd better get going.
Here is the map. Where do you wish
And
to go?
I want to go to a different game. Where's that on this map? Is it over here? He jumps. He can jump. Link can jump. He also sucks. He jumps and sucks. Okay, people can't see this, but the controls are really among the worst I've ever... And I'm dead.
It's clear that the designers were fans of the platforming in Zelda 2. It's also clear that the designers were incompetent morons.
Interesting fact, Oh, I can't make jokes. I'm too depressed.
Go talk to that octopus.
I bow down to the sight of this guy's 3-frame animation loop.
Help! Ganon froze the fountain. I'm stuck.
I know just how you feel. And here's the animated opening again. Remember that show Dr. Katz on Comedy Central? This makes Dr. Katz look like Miyazaki.
Father, you can't go! Who will put drops in my freakishly unlidded eyes?
Send Link.
Impa, don't worry, Zelda. The Triforce of Wisdom promises the king will safely return.
Enough. My ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner.
Oh boy, I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos. That was actually my yearbook quote.
I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos! Note how it actually somehow looks worse than the last game.
Now, how many frames do you count in that walking animation right there?
3? No, 2. Honestly, what makes you think killing this thing is even possible?
In the last game, Link had snowballs. She doesn't even have snowballs.
I love how progressive they thought they were being. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna make a Zelda game where you play as Zelda, girl power. Yeah, take that, patriarchy.
It's very egalitarian. The boys can have an awful time with the Link game. The girls can have an awful time with the Zelda game. So, how much did people pay for this thing?
Like around $400 or so, and that's in 1993 money. So I think like $3,000 today.
Those poor fools are like the only people in the world who are jealous of their friends who dropped $700 on a 3DO. And another animated opening. Kohler, I think your Mario drawing was actually better than this.
No, yeah, see, you get it. I wasn't exaggerating at all. No, this is Hotel Mario. Oh my god.
Man, it's a shame they couldn't get the top-notch voice talent from the Saturday morning cartoon show. I guess Captain Lou Albano was doing a TV ad for a Buick dealership in Poughkeepsie that day.
Is now a permanent guest at one of my 7 Koopa hotels. I dare you to find her if you can. We gotta find the princess. And you gotta help us. If you need instructions on how to get through the hotels, check out the enclosed instruction book.
If you have any questions as to how to return this game, read your store receipt.
So, what does this have to do with that intro we just watched?
You're rescuing Princess Toadstool from a hotel.
From a hotel? So it's like she didn't pay her bill. She got in hock at the minibar.
I think she might have opened up one of those $100 bottles of Voss water they leave on the counter. So, the objective here is to close all of the doors on each level. It's a puzzle game with no puzzles.
What's hilarious to me is people actually debate over whether Super Mario Sunshine was a bad game. Well, this exists.
I love how Hotel Mario is considered to be, quote, the good game of all those Nintendo CDI titles. This is known as Stockholm Syndrome.
So I'm looking at this game and I'm wondering, why does this require a CD-ROM?
You've hit the nail on the head, Baker. That is the very question that Nintendo asked themselves, and finding no answer, they canceled the CD-ROM add-on. Having not screwed up Zelda enough with the first 2 games, Philips took another crack at it with Zelda's Adventure. Now this time I'm sure they're gonna get it right.
Apparently in the intervening years, they've learned to write English in Hyrule. No more gobbledygook.
Hey, my grandma had that necklace. That's from TJ Maxx.
It is you, Princess Zelda. With this magic pendant, go forth, and with each sign you gather, so too will you gain knowledge. Find your magic wand, use it wisely, and listen to your allies along the way.
What the hell?
Come on, Baker, it's photorealism. In the future, this is what all games will look like. It's real. It's like Mortal Kombat and Zelda had a baby, but she got punched in the stomach while she was pregnant.
Is this considered part of the timeline? Are these Zelda games canonical?
Are you kidding me? They're totally economical. This must have cost them like $10.
No, canonical.
Oh, I doubt it. Nintendo's Zelda games don't even have any continuity to begin with. I mean, how many times has Link saved Zelda for the first time ever?
Hey, I got a boomerang. Now the fun begins.
Hey, it's a boomerang that doesn't come back when you throw it. Oh, they tried so hard. And now for the bonus round. Now, you know, Baker, the saga of the CDI wasn't quite as terrible as it could have been.
Thanks again for inviting me to be part of this. I really appreciate it. Now, how could it possibly be worse? No, don't tell me.
No, because Nintendo pulled the plug before Philips could screw up its flagship franchises even more. This is an unreleased prototype called Super Mario's Wacky Worlds.
So, Super Mario World is like my favorite game ever. They actually tried to do a sequel to it.
Yes, and by they we mean some random European developer or whatever. They didn't get very far. There's no gameplay yet, just a really hacked together engine and some art. Here, give it a try.
Why are the turtles wearing Centurion helmets? Oh, because it's Egypt. Oh wait, that still doesn't make sense.
Hilariously enough, they were still kind of figuring it out with this game. I mean, they were sort of actually getting it.
Yeah, this is not even 1% finished, and it's actually better than the other games. Even though there's nothing to do, it's like it doesn't hurt to play it.
But even still, these guys seriously actually thought they were going to march into a meeting with Miyamoto and be like, huh? You don't want to make Mario World 2 anymore, right? Want to give it to us? Look at the Koopa head. It vomits water. Huh? It's non-interactive.
I hate you, Kohler. Can I go now?
You just don't appreciate genius. I'm being very serious when I say that Nintendo got really close to releasing a CD-ROM add-on for the Super Nintendo. In fact, a game you might have played, Secret of Mana, was originally designed as a game for the CD-ROM add-on. Secret of Mana is what you would get if you combined the sword-swinging action of the old Legend of Zelda games and dropped in the leveling up, character-building, stat-boosting mechanics of Final Fantasy. The multiplayer mode really kicked it into high gear and made it one of the true classics of the 16-bit era. Sadly, Square Enix has yet to come close to replicating the perfect peanut butter and chocolate design genius of Mana. The World of Mana series didn't even feature an action RPG entry, just lame dungeon hacks and a middling real-time strategy game. But fans of the genre should definitely take a look at the recently released Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates for Nintendo DS. While it's not a Mana game by name, it feels a lot like one. Unlike the multiplayer-focused GameCube original, Ring of Fates is primarily a single-player game. There's a well-told story with some wonderfully written dialogue. I was surprised at how much I cared about these goofy little deformed guys. Gameplay is fast and furious. You won't have time to work out much in the way of strategy, you'll just have to hack and slash your way through dungeons full of monsters. It's not nearly as complex as a mainline Final Fantasy game, but the combination of the two disparate mechanics is what's so appealing here. Ring of Fates does have a lot of issues. Your computer-controlled partner characters are idiots who never do anything useful. Using magic is cumbersome to the point that I never bothered except to heal myself. And although there's an extensive multiplayer mode, there's no online play, so you're going to have to track down somebody else with a copy of the game. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fate's gameplay issues are substantial enough that if you are not dying for a Secret of Mana revival, you can skip this game. But if you're like me, you need it. I give it a 7 out of 10.